Hey folks, how you doing? Canal here. Happy Sunday. Time to get to work. Monday's coming up here, and we got an interesting week in the markets last week, and it should come to a resolution. What's been happening in the next few days? Last week was pretty much a chop fest for the most part. The S&P was up about 0.5% for the week, but we were really ping-ponging around between support and resistance here for the whole week, and so it was really tough to get any action, whether to the long side or the short side, as we were in a little bit of a trendless environment. And distribution phases tend to be like that, where there's really no particular edge. You're just in once again, like a trendless environment. And for us, at Bulls, we're momentum traders. And so, with the absence of momentum, whether to the downside or the upside, when you're in a tight range, there's really no discernible edge, whether you're going long or short, unless you're scalping on much shorter time frames. And so, I had a tricky week. I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was okay, and then Thursday, Friday, I really couldn't get anything going, and I was taking just small losses here, there, a few pennies here, just testing positions out to see if I could get the juice in something, and then I double up as it moves in my favor. But I just didn't see it. And probably the other thing was that, I was just missing some of the obvious plays that I normally would have, as I tend to get a little bit more conservative when we start just chopping around in a tight range, as usually I find this time to be more of just a commission stealer. The only person that makes money in that week is the brokers, and you'll end up, at least for guys like me, I'll end up spending like $700-800 and just trading commissions and not get anywhere, and then you just feel like a total jackass. But we'll be able to figure out what's happening this week once we come out of resolution in that particular in that particular range we've been in. So this is the 30-minute time frames. You can see here, right, we're really just coiled up here, and we're almost out of here. And so we're going to either break to the upside or the downside, and we'll figure out what's going to happen next based upon that. Now, if we do break down, that would give us a pretty much our next level of support that I'll be watching, right? It's kind of this 1340 mark, and so we could probably break. If we break down, that'll come up pretty quickly here. And you know what, if we break to the upside, the new highs are right back in action. Even though it seems like it's been really nasty, because a lot of individual stocks that we follow have been getting nailed. The Apples, the Googles, a lot of the former momentum stocks, or even current momentum stocks, we're still only a few percent off our yearly highs. And even if we do break down here, this breakdown in the scheme of the run-up that we had, really you're only retracing a quarter of the move, if that, right? Or maybe, a third of the move. And so that doesn't necessarily put us at a, in a bear market all of a sudden. It just means that we're having a correction. And, we're still holding, right? We're still holding our uptrend here for the most part. We violated a few other uptrends in here, but we're still holding this main one that, we've been watching. So, we still have a little bit of support that we can follow. And now in terms of the Russell is doing pretty much the same type of action here. We're essentially bear flagging right under the 50-day and the 20-day moving average. And, we can either break above it or, we break back down. And on the Russell, if we do break back down, we'll probably come here and retest this or test this 200-day moving average pretty quickly. So just keep an eye out on that. Now let's take a look at some stocks. There were actually, I have my watch list had quite a few names on. I've narrowed it down to some of the ones that I like a lot. SGOC, I think this one will be in play this coming week. Huge volume pop on Friday. End of the day, it was just a real runner. It had a intraday breakout around 234, and it just flew 40 cents in a matter of 15 minutes. And so watch this for, weak opens, a washout, and then a rebound, or even a potential break out of highs over here around 280 could get this thing going, but it's got the momentum for sure. ALTI, I'm watching this one. It might need 3-4 more days. If it can go sideways here in a tight range and then break one, I think that this one could go too. MNEL, I've got this on watch for a bottom bounce here. It's starting to really round about. This was a big former runner here. It's still an IPO stock. Kind of reminds me a little bit of FFN. It opens up at $9 and then starts bottoming out here in the 40s and then goes on an epic run. So keep this on the watch. This stock, I just got more of a feeling, but it's definitely setting up in a a bottom bounce formation. SBSA, this has got a breakout look to it. I anticipate at some time next week this stock is going to break out of highs. VRML coiled in here, right under this 200-day moving average. A thrust above could get us to 220 quickly, and then possibly to 240 to 250 range. BPZ, this one flew out of nowhere on Friday, so I'm watching very intently here as we've got this kind of range that it's been in. If we can come out of it, there's a lot of airspace above. We won't see really any resistance till $5. GTIV, nice look here. Look for a break over 9 to get this thing going. Eagly, I like this one a lot. I'm not always a fan of trading shippers, but this pattern is looking pretty nice here. We're just kind of coiling up here, and it looks like we could break right above. It actually looks kind of good right here with just a stop under support, and then you can just kind of ride this thing up. But I think initially it's going to have to take out about the 180s, and then it'll run right into resistance. If it thrusts above that, this stock was just at 230, 240 very recently. SWHC, this one's been consolidating now right above this 20-day moving average. You can see it looks like it's starting to test its range here of the last couple weeks. If that happens, a quick run to highs and then beyond is in the works. Exoma, I tried this on Friday. I sold for a 7-cent loss or so. I think there's still a breakout in here. Might need to break out of highs here. We kind of got close to it and then just closed right at lows. PHH, range break over 16. I probably wouldn't play this one. As you can see, the range break itself, you might get some juice on it, 50 cents a dollar, but the candles on this stock are just, it's not volatile enough for me. FCH, I do like this one. I was looking for entry pretty much all day on Friday. I just couldn't pinpoint one. It's in that zone where it's, testing resistance, but I needed to see a more powerful intraday setup, and I just couldn't find one. And then Zingo, I believe they report earnings this coming week. If this thing flushes below 9 and then tries to reverse, I'm going to try to play this for a bounce back trade. We tried on Friday, and I was up about 25 cents on it, and then it just kind of reversed and I sold flat. Usually a stock like this, you can scalp them for 20, 30 cents, but when the stocks come down this far, and you finally get that reversal signal, you usually can get $1 or $2 bounce, before it starts fading back down. And so that's what I was looking for, was more of a home run out of it. I think we might get it, just looking for a flush below 9, and then I'll be looking intraday for a potential reversal. But it's about as oversold as it can get, and about as extended to the downside as you can get. It's just been, dripping lower and lower every day, and so it just needs a little bit of catalyst. We got some support here at 9, so we'll see if that holds. That's it for now. Name of the game for this coming week is the same as last week. Capital preservation, be a little bit defensive. Me personally, I'm taking smaller position sizes till I get an idea of where the market's going to go. As trend traders, what we were, our whole job is, right, to hop on momentum as soon as when we see it, and then ride it till it dies. And that can go from the upside to the downside. But the one thing that really can kill, trend traders or momentum traders is a trendless environment where you're just stuck in a range. That tends to be very tricky unless you're trading on just a scalp time frame. And so if this market breaks down, then I'll know exactly kind of where I want to go. And if it breaks to the upside, I'll know where I want to go. But regardless, anything's better than staying in a range. So that's it. Stay out of trouble. Keep your money. Wait for the market to show its teeth, and then go for it. See y'all later.